You know, a real entrepreneur, वो अपने सपनों के पीछे भागता है. You think they all had work-life balance? I've heard a lot of women say that I have kids, so I won't be able to dedicate time to work. Everyone wants to build 1,000 crores. So being an entrepreneur is not what you do. It's actually who you are. You know, a real entrepreneur, वो अपने सपनों के पीछे भागता है और हर समय उसके बारे में सोचता है. I'm sure we all would have heard a conversation like, यार ये हर समय काम की बात करती है, यार ये हर समय काम की बात करता है, right? But we don't judge when an artist does it, because an artist is in love with his work. An artist, a storyteller, an actor, look at them. They're in love with their work. Now, replicate that to entrepreneurship. If you're really in love with your work, right, you become that. You become an entrepreneur who's all the time talking about it. That will really take you a long way. And I'm sure, हम सबने एक वो शाहरुख खान की लाइन तो ज़रूर सुनी होगी, that किसी चीज़ को जब आप शिद्दत से चाहो, तो पूरी कायनात जुड़ जाती है आपको उससे मिलाने में. एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप कुछ वैसी जर्नी है. जब आप शिद्दत से उसको चाहोगे ना, you just want to do it, so कायनात जुड़ जाएगी आपको सक्सेसफुल बनाने में. You know, usually people talk about life and work as two different things. We hear things like, यार ये तो हमेशा काम करता रहता है, और we hear things like, ये तो जिंदगी जी रहा है. Why? You know, if you love what you do, you will start enjoying it. And look around us. People like Sachin Tendulkar, PV Sindhu, or even bloggers, or even Aishwarya Rai, or any big celeb that you talk about, right? Talk about Alia Bhatt. You think they all had work-life balance? No, they just loved what they do, and they kept doing it. We all have heard stories of Sachin Tendulkar getting up at 5 a.m. when he was hardly 15, 16, right? And from that time, he would start playing, and then he would go to school, he'll manage his studies. I recently heard Alia Bhatt talking about her song video where she was performing next to Madhuri Dixit. She said, my body language is urban. So I locked myself into the room and did hours of practice, to get the rhythm right with Madhuri Dixit. Now, why are these people able to do it? And why are we their fans? Just think about it. It's because they love what they do and there are no boundaries. Yes, there's prioritization. So, on a day that you're required at home, switch off your phone and be there, right? But on a day when you're required at work in the same way, switch off everything and just be there. So, prioritize, yes. But if you love what you do, your life will be all about work and you will start enjoying it. At least that's how it's happened with me. I love what I do. Every day morning. I'm one of those who don't like long weekends. I'm like, what am I going to do on a long weekend? But then at long weekends also I'm working. Because when I'm reading, I'm working. When you're working on a skill, when you're learning something, you are directly or indirectly working. So as long as you create a, boundary around you, which is about your work, which is about your life and about your priorities and your dreams, everything will work for you. I've heard a lot of women say that I have kids, so I won't be able to dedicate time to work. I won't be able to go to work. You know what is my reason to work like this crazily? That I have kids. I want to set an example for her. And especially, for girls. I have a girl child. She's 13-year-old. I want to set an example for her that she should be proud of me and she should want to become like me. We try to teach our kids through reading, through so many different ways, right? We always want to teach our kids something. Now imagine whatever you want to teach, if you could actually set an example for that and you become that. And now your children will aspire to not become like a Bollywood hero, but to become like you. And that's the winning day. So most parents try to teach their kids what success looks like. I think it's time to show our kids what success really looks like. Everyone wants to build a 1,000 crore brand, but not everyone has a plan for it. So I really think that you have to fall in love with numbers. Numbers that will give you your short-term goals, your quarter goals, and a moonshot. So although the moonshot number is 1,000 crore, but trust me, what's more important is to know where your 10 crore is going to come from, to know where your 50 crore is going to come from, and to know where your 1 crore is going to come from, depending on what stage of business you are. Because without the number backing, when you talk about 1,000 crore, it's just a dream, which will become a fantasy, but you may not be able to, really convert that into a reality unless you fall in love with numbers. Wealth is all numbers. So if you actually make numbers your best friend, wealth will follow. So learning is a perpetual process. For me, I've been a constant learner. And a lot of people always thought that I have missed out on a lot of learning because I'm a school dropout. But with this thought of being a constant learner, my starting point was, I don't know anything. And the reality was also that, because I don't have those degrees. I never went to a business school. But this worked for me because every person I met, I started asking them, how do you do this? How do you do that? How do you think about your business? How do you think of finance? How do you think of marketing? Now, every person that I was meeting, and I was lucky enough to be in a room where everyone else was more smarter than me. So now I was interacting with people who were all smarter than me, asking them, how do you think about business? How does finance work? What is marketing? And learning at every step. Literally every day. So see, no degree or no learning can guarantee you success. But then you have to start somewhere. So start learning. Just accept and tell yourself that this is what I'm not good at and I will learn this. Once you're able to tell yourself that ye mujhe nahi aata aur ye mujhe seekhna hai, that is when you will start learning. So keep learning and keep moving forward. Resilience. This word reminds me of a famous quote from Batman, that why do we fall? So that we can learn to pick ourselves up. This is what I have always done in my life. So many failures. When the door got slammed on my face, hundreds of doors got slammed. I still picked myself up. When I had no money to eat food, I picked myself up. When my office got fire, so many such incidences. But I always got up, and got up with more power, with more belief in myself. If I've seen all of that, I'll be able to move forward from here also. I've been working constantly for 25 years, picking myself up every time when there was a downfall. And the result to that? Recently, I was awarded by Economic Times as inspiring leaders. I stood there on the stage. It was a beautiful moment for me. And I felt that there's no way I would have reached here if I did not have that resilience. For 25 years, I get up every morning with one belief, and I tell myself, no matter what, I will make it work. And this is my story of resilience. Talking about leadership, so for me, leadership is not about feeling powerful. It's actually about making your people feel powerful, giving them a vision which is larger than their life, and then enabling them to achieve it. And that's what true leaders do. They also create leaderships. They also create leaders around them. So be a leader. Give your people a vision, a belief,